Got Manuel available,
Hi.
the chief in editor at London Business News, content strategies, DLPR strategies at ClickDo, as well as Seeker Horse. In this video, I'm going to ask her about the UX design and how the site design, because she's been doing a really good job at London Business News as well as on Green Living Blog, one of the recently grown blogs to such a high level of traffic. And how and what kind of design things, if you're a web designer or if you're a blog creator, should be considering to impact your user experience and help to increase on-page time. Because London Business News, the traffic is around per user is spending more than 4 minutes a day, and overall at 500 visits a day, the site is making having over 40 hours per day of on-page spend time. So what are the strategies that you recommend and why you really focus on user experience? And give us a little bit of an insight about what any blogger, an SEO person or a web developer should be doing there.
Yes, sure. Okay, so when it comes to web design, I would say I'm not a designer, but what I can tell you based on my experience from having built different blogs like the London Business News blog and the Green Living blog and the UK Education blog and UK News blog, basically what I learned throughout the journey from starting the website, so we just used a theme and then build the content, and based on how we build the content, that's how the design was impacted. So the more content we grew over time, the more we had to find ways to show it on the homepage, for example. So I'm mainly going to focus on the homepage right now for this video.
Even for the articles also.
Yeah,
I
for
think
the
same principle happens.
Yeah.
Because articles are the most on-page spend time,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Because the homepage, of course, has to be good to the brand to win, I think, right? That's how I feel.
Yeah.
And then, but the article is where you really keep the visitors spending time.
Sure, yeah, that's a good point. So I think the key element for web design that works for SEO as well and that works for marketing is that you make sure that the content is easily accessible. It should be a good, easy to read font, for example, that matters. And the size of everything should be, good on different screens. So there is a way that you can check that within the theme, or if you're not using a theme, there is a way that you can check that with different builders, if you're using Elementor, if you're using Tag Div Composer or whatever it is. And then I would say you have to make sure that the content is presented.
What are you using for London Business News or any
we're using the newspaper theme.
Newspaper theme plus
but we're doing some customized elements.
Do you use plugins like Elementor or
we're using mostly the Tag Div Composer, which is it's a builder that is already embedded in there. So we've been using that builder for most of the pages, and we have designed some templates. So for example, for the posts and for the articles, we have a template, and so that all the articles look exactly the same. They are the same format, basically. But what we have also done is we have custom designed some very successful posts. So for example, the co-living article that has different co-living spaces in London. We have decided, after it was really successful, we decided to change it a little bit in terms of the design, because we got so much traffic to it that we decided, okay, actually we want to make sure that these people don't just go away from our article, because then they would just click on the co-living space that they're interested in and then they would go away from London Business News. So we changed it and made the design in a way that when they want to find out more about the co-living space, they click on the button and then it takes them to another page on our website that says, please subscribe first, and then you will get a send a password via email, and then you can access the full article.
Oh, that's a really good strategy.
Yeah, so that's another way that you can change the design of a post that get a lot of traffic to, because you don't want to lose those people. You want to make sure that you engage those people further, you keep them on your website, and you give them the information eventually, but you want to utilize them visiting your website and ideally get them as a subscriber. So that's what we've been doing. So we've been using different softwares. I use MailerLite for that, for example, to incorporate the forms. You can do that as a button or you can do it as a form. And those are different elements that are very important for the web design, because web design is not just about the way it looks, but it's mostly about how you use the people that come to your website and what experience you give them. So I think what a lot of web designers don't know, especially when it comes to SEO, is how to make a website engaging, what elements like calls to action, subscriber forms, pop-up forms, all these things matter, even ads, you want to make sure that it doesn't distract people from what you don't want them to move away from your website. You want them to further engage with your website. But of course, the design and everything matters to keep them engaged. And that, I think, the reason why we have a higher on-page time now on London Business News is because we kind of looked at all those things, and we tried to improve the design to make people stick a bit longer. Obviously, also the information provided is long. So for the list posts, we have, I don't know, some of them are 3,000 word articles. So obviously people then also spend more time. But I think as long as you make sure that you have enough calls to action, and on your article as well as on the homepage, we have, for example, on the homepage, we feature the top articles, some of the latest articles, some of the ones that are really popular. And then we feature different categories. So people then click on the different categories. They find more about what they're looking for. They can search for the keywords as well that they're looking for. So those are all elements that keep people engaged, and then they search for more. And even within the article, so say somebody finds us via an article, then within the article, we sometimes link to other relevant articles. So those are all strategies that really work well.
Yeah, good strategies, as she said, like focusing on the UI, the design. It's something really, because it's like a hotel, right? Like when people come, it is good and it feels good, they spend more time, they stay, they go and tell to others, they would share the information. Same thing in a website. If the presentation is good, spending more time, good signal to search engines, which means search engines think that I should send more people. I should send more people. So this is why, if you are a web designer, try to learn some of those strategies, why you should be doing that. Because as a web designer, when you build a site like that, the person or the business who gets the website is going to win. That means they're going to come back to you or going to refer to you. So that's if you're a web designer. If you're a blogger or a SEO guy who want to get your client sites rank or your own websites rank, having the design very well done with smart strategies, a lot of testing. So this works, it doesn't work, it's on page falling down. You can check how I use Clicky Analytics really good. You can see, Google Analytics good as well. But the Clicky is much easier. I can see what page actually moved out. So people came for
and
this
that's
page.
Why web designers should use these tools
Web designers should use these tools.
Because I feel a lot of web designers only understand about the design, but they don't really understand how it correlates with SEO, how important web design is for SEO and also for the marketing aspect. Calls to action is a super important
really
thing.
Important call to action,
because if you want to sell,
want
to sell, you have to convince people to buy your product or your service, right? So if the presentation of your service or your product is not well designed, then they're not going to inquire through the contact form, or they're not going to get in touch with your business. And that's why it's so important to also check the statistics and the analytics to see, okay, what do people actually do on this page or on this, how do they interact with it? Because you want to make sure they follow the call to action and they inquire. So those are all really important things to consider for the web design.
Make sure you consider those tips, and if you have any more questions, drop the comments below, subscribe to the channel, and I will be interviewing Manu and ask a lot of tips about how she builds some of the sites. But just London Business News is a good website that you can actually go and have a look, see through all those things that she explained on the site, describe, and go through the pages, go through some of the articles, and learn from a site that's been done at such a high level, which has a tremendous on-page time, because people like it. This is the way you should build a website to really score in the long run and get the traffic and grow your website. Because
it's still growing, so we are still going to make changes.
Try to get to 1,000 visitors a day, as 500 plus a day with a massive on-page time. And very impressive.
We will have to change the design going forward, because there will be more content coming. Probably new categories will emerge, so we'll have to think about how we present that on the homepage and on other pages. But currently we're working on integrating a chatbot, for example, and then we're working on also implementing ads, but in a very contextual way, so that it makes sense to people visiting, that it's not distracting, and those are going to be new design challenges for us. that we will also have to work out. But checking the analytics, making sure, we see how people spend their time, what they do, what actions they do. That really helps to understand or to improve the web design, basically.
With that being said, thanks for listening. I'll see you again in the next video. Fernand Raymond, Manuela Bilbo. Check her out on Google. Just Google Manuela Bilbo. Check her website. Very high quality content written. I'll be back bringing the experts for the show. Let me know who I should be interviewing. If you want me to cover another topic with Manuela, any specific thing you want to know, drop the comments below. Subscribe to the channel. Fernand Raymond. I'll see you again in the next video.